Let's de-influence being a lawyer for a bit. I failed 8 classes when I was in law school, so I already know from the get-go that law isn't this huge, glamorized journey. And as much as I do love being a lawyer, I'll admit that there are some things that may throw off people from being a lawyer, and I'll admit sometimes it throws me off. The first one is definitely the hours. So yes, office hours is 9 to 5, but working hours is a whole other story. So far in my career, I have never worked earlier than 9 a.m., but where I am, in fact, working past 5 p.m. The latest that I have ever gone home so far is 8 p.m. But keep in mind, I'm still like 4 to 5 months into my career as a lawyer. I only expect that I will eventually have days where I'm working past 8 p.m. The next one is that being a lawyer, most of the time you are just sitting on your desk, pretty much. So that's why you are answering emails, you are drafting up documents, you are doing a bunch of paperwork. Most of the tasks that you are doing involves you sitting in front of a computer, sitting in your desk the whole day. And definitely that's not something that you see in TV shows. That's not something that you always see in Suits, in Legally Blonde, in How to Get Away with Murder, in Law and Order. Depending on the area of law that you do, like most of the time you are not going to court. Like, you know, unlike the TV shows and the movies. Like I work in property and family law, and going to court is not really a regular daily thing in those areas. The next one is definitely the pressure, and the pressure comes from two things. The first pressure comes from your clients, especially, you know, you work with all different kinds of clients. There are those that are really extremely patient, there are those that are not patient, you know, all different personality types. This is where it is extremely important to have boundaries. However, there are times where it's just like really tempting to push those boundaries. Then of course you have the pressure of deadlines, urgent tasks. This is different in law school where you don't really have a set capacity of how much work that you can do. Like you can get loads and loads and loads of work, and when those loads and loads and loads of work have deadlines, urgent tasks, that can definitely increase the pressure. And there's also that pressure to not make mistakes, because I know that as a lawyer that just only recently admitted, I am very extremely cautious. What I mean by cautious is that the moment that I feel like an inch of doubt, I have to have that work, whether it's like an email or a letter, I have to get that checked by another colleague or my supervisor. Because the scary part is that whether you are